Midwinter spring is its own season, septerminal through sodden toward sundown, suspended in time between pole and tropic, when the short day is brightest with frost and fire, the brief sun flames the ice on pond and ditches. In windless cold it is the heart's heat, reflecting in a watery mirror, a glare that is blindness in the early afternoon, and glow more intense than blaze of branch or brazier. Stir the dim spirits no wind, but Pentecostal fire in the dark time of the year, between melting and freezing, the soul sap quiver. There is no earth smell or smell of living thing. This is the springtime, but not in time covenant. Now the hedgerow is blanched for an hour with transitory blossom of a snow, a bloom more sudden than that of summer, neither budding nor fading, not in the scheme of generation. Where is the summer, the unimaginable zero summer? If you came this way, taking the route you would be likely to take, from the place you would be likely to come from, if you came this way in Maytime, you would find the hedges white again, in May with voluptuous sweetness. It would be the same at the end of the journey. If you came at night like a broken king, if you came by day not knowing what you came for, it would be the same when you leave the rough road and turn behind the pigsty to the dull facade and the tombstone. And what you thought you came for is only a shell, a husk of meaning, from which the purpose breaks only when it is fulfilled, if at all. Either you had no purpose, or the purpose is beyond the end you figured, and is altered in fulfillment. There are other places which also are the world's end, some at the sea's jaws, over a dark lake, in a desert or a city. But this is the nearest in place and time now, and in England. If you came this way, taking any route, starting from anywhere, at any time or any season, it would always be the same. You would have to put off sense and notion. You are not here to verify, instruct yourself, or inform curiosity, or carry report. You are here to kneel, where prayer has been valid, and prayer is more than an order of words, the conscious occupation of the praying mind, or the sound of the voice praying. And what the dead had no speech for when living, they can tell you, being dead. The communication of the dead is tongued with fire beyond the language of the living. Here the intersection of the timeless moment is England and nowhere, never and always. Ash on an old man's sleeve is all the ash the burnt rose leave. Dust in the air suspend marks the place where the story ended. Dust imbreathed with a house, the walls, the wainscot, and the mouse. The death of hope and despair, this is the death of air. There are floods and droughts over the eyes and the mouth, dead water and dead sand contending for the upper hand. The parched ever-set soil grapes at the vanity of toil, laughs without mirth. This is the death of earth. Water and fire succeed, the town, the pastures, and the weed. Water and fire deride the sacrifice that we denied. Water and fire shall rot the marred foundations we forgot, of sanctuary and choir. This is the death of water and fire. In the uncertain hour before the morning, near the ending of the interminable night, at the recurrent end of the unending, after the dark dove with the flickering tongue had passed below the horizon of his homing, while the dead leaves still rattled on like tin, over the asphalt where no other sound was, between three districts whence the smoke arose, I met one walking, loitering and hurried, as if blown towards me like the metal leaves, before the urban dawn wind unresting, And as I fixed upon the down-turned face, that pointed scrutiny with which we challenge the first met stranger in the waning dusk, I caught the sudden look of some dead master, whom I had known, forgotten, half recalled, both one and many, in the brown-baked features, the eyes of a familiar compound ghost, both intimate and unidentifiable. So I assumed a double part, and cried, and heard another voice cry, "What, are you here?" Although we were not, I was still the same, not knowing myself, yet being someone other. And he, a face still forming, yet the words sufficed to compel the recognition they preceded, and so complaint to the common wind, too strange to each other for misunderstanding. In concord at this intersection time of meeting nowhere, no before and after, we trod the pavement in a dead patrol. I said, "The wonder that I feel is easy, yet ease is cause of wonder. Therefore speak, I may not comprehend, may not remember." And he, "I am not eager to rehearse my thoughts and theories which you have forgotten. These things have served their purpose, let them be. So with your own, and pray be forgiven by others as I pray you to forgive, both bad and good. Last season's fruit is eaten, and the fulfilled beast shall kick the empty pail. For last year's words belong to last year's language, and next year's words await another voice. But as the passage now presents no hindrance to the spirit unappeased and purine, between two worlds become much like each other, so I find the words I never thought to speak, in streets I never thought I should revisit, when I left my body on a distant shore. Since our concern was speech, and speech empowered us to purify the dialect of the tribe, and urge the mind to aftersight and foresight, let me disclose the gift reserved for age, to set a crown upon your lifetime's efforts. First, the cold friction of expired sense without enhancement, offering no promise, but bitter tastelessness of shadow fruit, as body and soul begin to fall asunder. Second, the conscious impotence of rage at human folly, and the laceration of laughter at what ceases to amuse. And last, the rendering pain of reenactment, of all that you have done and been, the shame of motive late revealed, and the awareness of things ill done and done to others' harm. Which one you took for exercise or virtue, then fool's approval stings and honour stains. From wrong to wrong, the aspirated spirit proceeded, unless restored by that refining fire, where you must move in measure like a dancer. The day was breaking. In the disfigured street he left me, with a kind of valediction, and faded on the blowing of the horn.